Basil Chapman, what's going on?
Beautiful weather. It was raining, and suddenly it's beautiful and sunny. That's what we like.
Oh, is that what Chairman Powell's going to say too?
So I was going to say, is that for telling us something?
I like it. Hey, it's funny is that we can say that, oh, this meeting's so important, but I've said that so many times in so many different years. It's almost like when I looked at this morning and I'm looking at these rates across the world, I'm saying to myself, you know what, man, it's going to say the same thing, man. Because when I looked at the rates across the world, like, we are actually high. So we'll see where it shakes out.
We're one of the highest, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be intriguing watching it.
And it was for a reason, because economically, I think we've been doing better. You know what's interesting? Yes. When you said, here we are worrying again, I keep thinking, I go back to, I remember when they used to talk about, we're waiting for M1. That was the money for, then it was M2.
Right.
And then it was M3.
Right.
And when I look back, and if I had to chart it on those Thursdays when they discussed it, unless I get a topping signal, which coincides, I can't even recall. I do recall one time when the Fed did something, and for subscribers, we bought the DXT 2 times short, an index, the Dow. And that was great. But almost every other time, the market, once it changes course, that's really important.
Yes.
So it's going to take a lot for them to say. Not only that, they've spelled it out very clearly that they are going to be reluctant to do anything that changes course quickly.
Right, and that's the thing. So what Basil just said there, that's the thing that basically I'm believing that they said, folks. That's the real bottom line, because they can say that, hey, it ran too quick and we're going to change right now. I just don't see that happening. I just, we'll find out though.
Well, what's interesting, if we look at the market, this, how many weeks have been talking about this rotational market? I've been saying markets usually make tops sequentially, but they make bottoms together. Not always, but really, maybe 90% of the time they make.
That's right.
Really
listen, I was in my car this morning when you're saying that. I was listening to you. Yep.
Yeah, and think back. So what we've done is we've got the Dow on the 10th. It makes a high. We are still long the Dow. I don't really want to change that position. And not if we've been long since the March low of last year. Look at this. The S&P all-time high. And today is the 15th. Yeah. You've got the IWM makes its high on I think it was way back. It was 234.53 on the 15th of March. We are 3 months later now. So we're within a point. We were within a point, and now we are a little bit more. And you've got the QQQ, which just yesterday, made an all-time high. So you can see there's a split personality. Now, what's really interesting is that the Fed might say something that impacts the very sectors that are related to the rates. And if you look at the TLT is in this rectangle formation, but it's really, the rates have been trading within a range for a long time. So can it change? The way I'm looking at it, it looks to me like there's a little bit more to go to the upside in the bonds. And if that's the case, then rates are going to benefit. And if rates benefit, we'll suddenly see the XLF, which has another rotation. XLF makes its all-time high a little earlier. It made it back on the 3rd of June. And so we'll see what's happening here. But in the meantime, the rest, I call it a rest period. So I've been anticipating different sectors have real long. A bank stock has done really well. And here's the XLF making a little bit of a rest. It was a leader. Now there's no reason why it shouldn't have a little bit of a pullback. If rates pull back, then the financials usually like to have higher rates. That's not the only thing, but it does benefit them. So, we're looking at crude oil. You were talking about crude oil again. We're long a multinational oil. We're waiting a long time to get it because I think getting capital gain with a dividend, it's appealing. And I don't see how they're going to stop this crude oil rally. There's a leg C in the monthly. The weekly chart has gone quite a bit above the last high, which is back on this is a continuous contract back on the week of the 12th of March. So, I don't see that there's too much change. You had the QQQ which really, this is fascinating because the QQQs have been alternating between the different sectors. They made their high and then they pull back sharply. Now they come back and they're making another high. And I think this is very selective, but you can't rule out stocks. There are some fantastic stocks in the NDX 100. So I don't see too much of a change right now, but I think this rotation can continue. A rotational correction, I love that because that's essentially that might be making a high-level consolidation for all the indices. We'll know very soon. So I'm just going to make it as simple as possible. In fact, we have about 3 or 4 stocks and indexes that are almost at the close of, I think it was the other day, we had at least a couple of stocks that were at all-time highs. So I think that's the only way we can do it, is to look what you have. If they're acting well, that's a good sign. If they're starting to show some deterioration, you've got to be a little bit careful. Here's this pattern that I'm looking at in the Dow, this H pattern. We have taken 10 days and we haven't broken down yet. I've made it real simple. If the Dow starts to go under 33,800, that's going to be an issue. And then it means that the Dow sector, that's the cyclicals, some deep cyclicals, and some of the big, like Caterpillar's had a tremendous pullback. Then you'll see that continue for a little while longer. But we can rotate and see some other sectors hold up while something pulls back. I'd like that. I love those kind of consolidations where you're really you're going in a rectangle formation, going sideways, using up time, getting everybody nervous. But all you're using is you're usurping some upside energy, building some energy for the upside. That'll be really nice. We'll see soon enough.
Oh, we will. We are going to see in 22 hours and 1/2.
I'm not trying to time it between 2 hours and a half.
Let me tell you, folks, okay? It's going to be a big one. Listen,
Yes.
folks, come over to our website at TFNN. You're going to go into newsletters. You see the opening call right on the left-hand side. You just hit that subscribe button. Basil, you have a great one, a safe one. Of course, we look forward to the show tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Tom. You too.
Thank you.